Good morning, everybody. Welcome to International Women's Day. Can we believe we're here again? Some of you may have visited us last year when we did a webinar celebrating International Women's Day. It's lovely to have you all here. My name's Hayley Ailey. If you've not met me before, that's a name you're never going to forget. So it's lovely to see you. I hope you're all comfy. I hope you've got a coffee. I hope you've got a cushion, which is my usual form of being able to have a chat in the mornings. And you're ready for some really good stuff that we're going to bring to you. I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping in a moment, but I want to introduce who I've got with me today first. So to my right, my lovely colleague Lou, who's on the national board with me at PFEW.
Yeah, morning everybody, I'm Lou. I'm an officer from Norfolk and I was appointed onto the national board back in September. So
it's lovely to welcome Lou. This is our first one, so be kind.
be very kind.
But without further ado, I want to introduce to you our special guest who's here. Sorry, I'm just getting a little bit of feedback there. That was weird. So our special guest today is Sophie King. Sophie, it's lovely to see you today.
Thank you so much.
Tell the group just a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. So I'm Sophie King. I'm from Sussex Police. I am a Fed rep and an inspector down there. So thank you for having me.
Oh, it's lovely. And we're going to get into a lot more detail as to why you're with us today, Sophie. You will always see that we've got a sponsor today from Booby Doo. You'll hear a lot more from them. We just want to thank them for sponsoring this event this morning. And you're going to hear a lot from them later on and a little bit more about what they're going to do for us. Just a little bit on admin. Some of you may struggle to be able to put your hand up and ask questions. So what we really want you to do is to default to either putting questions in the chat, and we will try and get to as many as we can, or the link hopefully is going to come up that will show you how you can actually log on and ask questions if you haven't got a chat bar. We do know, depending on what you've got in regards to your system, you might not have a chat bar accessible. So I hope you've been able to see that on the screen. It's events@polfed.org. So hopefully you can see that. And if you've got any questions throughout this morning's chat, please send them through to us and we'll try to answer as many as we can as we go through the event. It's lovely to have you here. So first and foremost, I just want to talk to you before we go to our lovely guest about a really important campaign that I'm sure you can see highlighted behind us called Copped Enough. That is our key priority at the moment, which is a campaign to actually make the whole country aware of the fact that police officer pay is absolutely criminal, and we want to try and amend that. So Lou, you're going to tell us a little bit more about that, aren't you?
Yeah, really, thanks Hayley. So just going to what Hayley said, we know that police pay conditions are well and truly overdue for some review and some reform, but we can only do that and lobby Parliament with your help. So as you'll see behind, you've got the Copped Enough details, and we're also going to put into the chat a link for the virtual picket line. That isn't just for serving police officers, that's for friends, family. Put it out onto your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it is you're using, and get them to sign that. I can't reiterate that enough. We can only do this with your help. And we have already seen in the past things around like pregnancy, maternity conditions, as we talk about women. So when I had my first baby, we only had like 12 weeks maternity. We've now got a lot longer than that. So change does happen with your help. So please, please make sure that you're signing up to that and that you're getting your friends and family to as well.
Yeah, share it as wide as you possibly can. You've seen other campaigns when they're advertised on the news, haven't you? And you see someone standing on the doors of Parliament putting their petition forward. In effect, that's what we want to achieve. And we want Parliament to take notice that across the country, everybody feels the same, that police officers should be paid more and should absolutely be supported in their own forces with having better paying conditions. So, yeah, you'll hear us going on about that throughout this morning and anything else that you come across. So please get behind that. As I said, Sophie, it's lovely to see you here this morning. There's a reason why we've brought her in. It's International Women's Day, and something that we created probably over 10 years ago now was outstanding achievement for Women in Policing Award, which is an award that we send out across federated ranks of the Police Federation across all forces and ask people to nominate who they think should be our worthy winner in regards to any actions that anybody is doing in policing that absolutely supports furthering the cause for women in policing. And you are our 2025 winner. How did that feel when you were informed about that?
I think it was a massive surprise. So I had been asked by my local federation to dial into a meeting with very minimal details, and I did. And there you were on the call, and I was really surprised. I thought, oh my goodness, what have I done? What's happening? And then, yeah, you informed me that I had won the award, and I think I felt really, really honoured to win that award. I think so often you do work around your forces or in your local area with a hope to make change. You don't do it for a pat on the back or a clap or something like that. But when you get that recognition, it's just that reminder that the work that you're doing is really important, and that people see that work that you're doing. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, and it's just brilliant to talk to you about it this morning, because it really fits in with our theme in regards to International Women's Day. Because you have supported so many women, so many people in your force through the work that you've done. And let's be honest about this. This started out as volunteer work on top of the day job. This was something that you were so crucially wanted to develop and put in place. Tell me a little bit about it. How did it start, and what did you want to achieve?
Thank you. So yeah, so my day job, I'm the inspector for the coaching units across Sussex Police. So I look after all of our new recruits after they finish police and crime training, before they get independent patrol and go out by themselves. So I recognise that kind of gave me an opportunity to get to kind of speak to a broad range of officers across a number of locations, and we're getting that constant kind of filter through of cohorts. When I was on response down in Brighton as a PC, I recognised that there was some kind of disparity around sexism or sexual harassment in the workplace. And I thought that we need to do something to kind of address that.
Yeah.
And there was so much great work that was going on within the organisation, with the Federation, with professional standards and loads of different bits and pieces, but there wasn't something central. So I had the idea to create it's kind of a sexism and sexual harassment mentor scheme alongside my day job under the gender equality network that we have in Sussex called Evolve. So I head up that work stream, and we had this idea to create a network of mentors who could kind of be a point of contact for anybody who's experiencing that behaviour. The idea of the mentor scheme was not to solve the problem or fix everything. We recognise that that's kind of a goal in the far future, but more so just to kind of give that support, that guidance. So as it stands in Sussex, we've got 80 mentors.
Brilliant.
Yeah, thank you. From PC up to superintendent, staff equivalent across all kind of departments. We've got response, neighbourhoods, and then more specialist areas like the coaching unit, firearms, dogs, basically everywhere. And their role is that if somebody is kind of victim or witness to that behaviour, they can go and have a conversation about what they can do about it. Sometimes it might be reporting, sometimes it might just be having that conversation. And then on the flip side, the idea of that mentor scheme is to be the upstander and to challenge and report that behaviour themselves. So if you're in a room or in a locker room back of the PSU van, that kind of thing, not being afraid to stand up and say that behaviour isn't acceptable, really. So
that's it. I mean, it's brilliant. And we all know, we're all police officers, and we all know that behaviour isn't acceptable. But what everyone will say is that nervousness, that you're taking that next step. You're actually putting it out there that then actions will have to follow beyond it. Can be such a worry for anybody, as much in regards to confidentiality as well. And it's got to be vitally drawn out that there is still going to be that confidentiality for the individual. So how have you found that has been accepted in the work that you're doing? Does that come readily, or do you feel that you've had to build trust up with people?
Yeah, definitely. I think building trust up has been a big thing, and we've had kind of ongoing conversations with, you know, the Federation and professional standards and everyone kind of in between. And we were really, really firm on the fact that this wasn't, you know, a PSD piece of work or a Fed piece of work. It's separate to that, to kind of create that safe space for people. And by my role within the coaching units has kind of allowed that. So one of the big pieces of work that we wanted to do was to kind of get in with our new recruits really, really early.
Yeah.
So we deliver a presentation to every single recruit when they come in, and we've been doing that for about 2.5 years now. So if you're an officer in Sussex, having joined within the last 2.5 years, you have had this input delivered to you. And we kind of give this presentation around the mentor scheme, and then give those points of contact. And we've done some other bits and bobs as well. So we've got posters up in the local stations, which will have a specific kind of name of who the local mentor is, on our intranet page as well, so you can just search it. And then a big one for us was just like email signatures. So at the bottom of the email signature, it just says if you're a mentor. So you know how many emails get sent a day. It's something really easy, so we can get that visibility out there as well. But definitely, I think building that trust and creating a safe space, and that's why we kept that work separate. We didn't want people to feel like if they ask for help, that automatically will say, right, we're going to run with this and report it. You know, that's not what everybody wants. So it's just kind of that opportunity to talk through that process with individuals and kind of give them that empowerment to come forward.
And you know what, wouldn't that be amazing if we could run that across all forces?
Yeah, so this is something that is above and beyond what forces normally have, what federations have. And just going back to another point about when perhaps people come forwards and they don't want to report it because they are scared of reprisals. And as much as a lot of work has been done to get rid of like the misogyny and harassment in the workplace, it still does go on. So if people are wanting to report it and you go through, are you like linking in with like your sexual assault referral centres, domestic violence charities, that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've been really fortunate to have a lot of CPD sessions. So we run regular kind of CPD with the mentors a few times a year, both internal and external. So we've had, you know, anti-corruption or, you know, domestic abuse kind of departments come in and talk to us. But then also externally, we had an amazing input from the Survivors Network, which gave our mentors some really useful tools about how to actually practically deal with this when it comes forward. So yeah, really, really important as well.
What about, sorry.
You know what it is? We immediately then have lots of things we want to find out, let alone anybody that's actually listening to us out there. Go on, Lou.
Just like in terms of like the practicality side of it. So as officers, we are duty bound to report. So what protection is there for the mentors? So they receive this information. Is there automatically some protection from the force that actually that they'll record it and not take action?
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that came up really early on into the mentor scheme, and kind of the first input we had was with the professional standards department kind of around that. And as I said, we've been very clear that that work is separate to that department. We have a number of different kind of tools for reporting and recording. So we use Signa down in Sussex, which is merely a recording tool, not a reporting tool. And that just highlights kind of what the behaviour was. Doesn't need to give specific details about who was involved. It could just be this day, date, time, at this location, this comment was overheard or this joke was overheard. And that allows us to gather data to be able to understand if there are particular areas where problems are kind of reoccurring, and then we can go in and deliver specific inputs to those teams or to those stations to try and tackle that behaviour as well. But yeah, that was something that came up really early on, and that reassurance for, you know, members or colleagues when we're speaking to them initially, to kind of give them that reassurance that we're there to listen. And we will guide them and support them, but ultimately our job is to just give them that support.
And how have the senior leadership teams reacted to this then? Are they really supportive of it?
Yes, luckily they have been incredibly supportive, as is everybody that we've kind of approached with this. We've had so many people on board with it. I presented to our Dep and Chief, our Culture and Standards Board, and they were so on board with the work that we're doing. There's so much more that needs to be done, and I have so many ideas in my head of things that I want to kind of get done. So, you know, the posters was the first step. We're thinking about doing some more videos and things like that. And whenever I've briefed them on this work, they have absolutely been on board with it, which has been very, very good. Because I think you need it from both ends, which is why, you know, we started with the new recruits to get people coming in, spreading that message early on. But you also need people of higher ranks and everyone in between as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's a big challenge, but I won't stop. I'll keep going around to different stations and giving little inputs and things like that. So yeah.
And you can just see, folks, if you're listening into this, why Sophie was our Women in Policing Award winner this year. We, as the Police Federation, are building a toolkit for victim and witnesses and any support we can offer as the Police Federation in that space. Because traditionally, the Police Federation was always seen as being there for somebody when they're accused of something. And yes, absolutely, we are still there for that, but we are so much more than that. And we want to make sure that the membership are aware that we're there for the other side of that scenario too, whenever anything's happened to somebody and they need some support, or whether they may have witnessed something and be called into something, we can be there for them too. And we want to ensure that people feel confident that we can create ethical walls, that we can ensure that even if somebody in the branch is representing somebody who is accused of something, we can still ensure that we can represent the other side of the coin too. I've got a question that I'm just reading up on the chat. I've got my glasses on just for this so that I can read these. Big congratulations for the award, Sophie. It's well deserved for your excellent work. Have you had any members who have used the services of a mentor who have then gone on to volunteer to become a mentor themselves?
Yeah, we have actually. And I think it's that experience of going through that process, which means that they can add so much value themselves as a mentor because they get it.
Yeah.
And I think when you have the ability to kind of empathise and know that process inside and out, you're able to kind of guide and support other people as well. And I think it's that shared experience and that lived experience that people have that's so valuable, and you can't replicate that, can you? So, you know, you might be able to reel off a flowchart of policy and say, well, you know, this is what happens next. But ultimately, if you've been through that yourself, you have so much to give. So yeah, we've had some really good feedback from a couple of people who have used the service and have then come in to kind of volunteer to be mentors. And when we came up with the idea of the mentor scheme, we didn't say, like, you've got an end date, you sign up to be a mentor, and then that's it, we're closing the doors. It's an ongoing and evolving thing, which is how we've got to a point where we now have 80 of them. And I hope that, you know, as time goes by, we'll just get more and more people volunteer. Another big thing is the inputs that we give where we go around and talk to different teams. Quite often following those inputs, people will grab me at the end and say, that sounds like work I want to be involved in. You know, can you send me the details and sign up? So that's really, really positive as well. And I think what you mentioned around kind of the federation and their role is really important, because the idea of the mentor scheme and this work isn't punitive. You know, we're not here to kind of say that everybody needs to be served papers or whatever. We recognise that sometimes that behaviour that might happen in the PFEW van in the locker room just requires a little bit of reflection and a bit of learning. So another big piece of work that we did was getting involved with reflective practice and making that conversation really meaningful. So rather than just having a line manager and an individual having a chat, having a mentor involved in that process who's specifically trained to kind of facilitate that conversation has led to some really positive work as well. And I've had a few people on the other side who have had and received reflective practice who have come out and said, do you know what, that process was really decent and I've really learned from that. And, you know, I never meant any harm or offence, but now thinking about my behaviour, I'm definitely going to kind of change the way that I behave moving forward, which I think is really good.
And, you know, isn't that such a wonderful message to take to all forces? Because you're absolutely right. Reflective practice in certain circumstances should be meaningful and absolutely should benefit any individual that find themselves in that situation. So it should be more than just a discussion with a line manager, and it could be so much more varied. And if every force had a unit like yourselves, then you can absolutely see that change in culture, can't you? And that education that can start through, like you say, from recruitment, but all the way through. And realistically, in the Federation, we hear a lot of anecdotal comments that the generational recruits that are coming in think differently to perhaps previous generations. But what a fantastic way of getting in at the very start and making sure that everybody's ethics and behaviours, etc., in the workplace are hitting the same standard to start with, and then opening that education out for future. So, I mean, honestly, I think it's amazing work. It really is. And I just hope if anyone's on this call that can have the insight to then go back to forces and say, watch this recording because we think this is really important and we think you could do this in our force. And that, I think, is fantastic learning. I want to take it to some of our other departments, some of our equality leads, etc. And again, this work that we're starting to do ourselves to ensure everybody's aware that we are there to support victims and witnesses also, so that people realise that there's that advice out there. What's next then, Sophie? What's coming over the hill do you want to do now?
There's so much, I think, that can be done, and I'm really proud of the work that we've done so far. And as I mentioned, there's been so many people that have been involved in that work that, you know, wouldn't have come to kind of fruition if we didn't have the support of so many people involved, especially the 80 mentors that are actually out there on the ground doing that work. So I think, as I said, just developing that further, getting more mentors on board, continuing to deliver those presentations to new recruits. We've started to roll it out to PCSOs, investigating officers, and on the initial supervisors course as well, to get into first line leaders as well, which is really positive. And then, as you said, kind of making that more national change. So I've had a couple of emails following on from the award from different forces, and I've been really lucky to kind of give some presentations there. So absolutely, the offer to kind of support any other force that wants that kind of input, I'm more than happy to share that, because I think it's only when we all get on board with this that we'll be able to see some actual meaningful change.
Yes, and as we know, you know, behaviours are the most difficult thing to change in regards to any walk of life, but we absolutely need to make sure that everybody is educated in ensuring that there isn't misogyny in the workplace, ensuring that there isn't this domestic abuse continuing on, ensuring that people have got that education and feel supported, that they can reach out and get support from their colleagues, which we all know. We do it anyway, don't we? We all have a chat with somebody we trust. But realistically, not everyone can feel like they've got somebody out there that they can talk to. So to have mentors, do you find it's a specific expertise that come to be mentors, or is that quite varied?
No, it's so varied. Yeah, it genuinely is really, really varied. We've got such a kind of diverse range of people that are on the mentor scheme, as I said, from all different types of departments. I recently delivered an input to estates and facilities, or you know, joint transport service, which is really good as well. So it's not kind of the people that you would expect to get on board. We're having everybody, as I said, different ranks, different departments, different roles, which again is really, really good, because I think we need that representation. You know, if people are going to come forward and talk to people they trust, we've got to have that kind of representation across the organisation.
Apparently, I'm just being told by one of the questions. Well, could you scroll? Is there a question? No. Okay, big congratulations. So apparently there are some difficulties getting the questions in the chat. So events@polfed.org. If you've got any questions, go across to that quickly. Let's have a look. We've got one here. Morning all, this sounds brilliant and well done on your award. Sophie, clap emoji. Like that you've written that out. That speaks to me volumes. What happens to any victims that may result in becoming a victim of misconduct? How do you ensure that the victims are still supported? As I see that there is a gap between the reporting and subsequent investigations, where the victims are just left in amongst their peers and there is no real support of victim care aspect to the Federation, especially when people call out this behaviour. I mean, firstly, I'll say, yeah, I completely understand what you're saying there, Mark, which is why we are trying to deliver, bringing a toolkit together that will be trained and delivered out to all of our reps, so that they absolutely understand that there is the need to give support to the victims and to give support to any witnesses in exactly the same way as you would. And that is work that you're engaged with at the moment, Lou, isn't it?
Yes, that's some work that I've got as part of my national board portfolio. And I'm very pleased that there are some forces who are going to be trialling a new victim and witness support programme that does specifically look at those things to do with the ethical war. And then certainly having workplace mentors is a piece of work I think we need to speak to Sophie about outside of this, because that will really help facilitate that and give the confidence for people to actually come forwards.
Because I do understand what you're saying. In a lot of instances, it can feel like you're the person that's almost being that upstander. especially when it's a specific scenario. You're the person being the upstander, yet everything else happens around the other individual, and you're left with, like you say, sometimes issues with confidentiality, but also the support in that you could go back to work the next day and you've got to face that and keep moving forward. And there doesn't seem to be as much support to that individual.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's what your peers find.
Absolutely. And we try and make sure that that support is ongoing. So we don't just have that initial contact with that individual and kind of give them that advice on how to report or record, but we follow that individual through the process as well. So there have been occasions, you know, where I've given people a lift kind of to those hearings, or just sat with them, taking them for a coffee before that's taken place. And then after that as well, maintaining that contact. So, you know, a decision is made, whatever, that can, we think that's the end, but actually that can be the start of kind of that officer's journey and how they continue back into the workplace. So yeah, absolutely. So, you know, I'll have involvement in kind of gold groups that kind of follow on from any investigations and kind of helping those officers or staff members back into the workplace after that kind of investigation has concluded as well. So definitely not a start and finish, and keep it going throughout.
And we've got another question. Thank you for that, Mark. We've got another question that's coming from Joanne. What training do the mentors have, and are there any male mentors? Is the presence of the mentors acting as a deterrent?
Yeah, so the mentors have some initial training. So we have like a mentor guidance document that gets sent out to them. And then, as I said, we have regular CPD. So we kind of put on a few CPD sessions every year. And that will be both internal and external. So as I said, we had a fantastic input from the Survivors Network that came in specifically to talk about tactics that mentors can use when they're challenging such behaviour. So yeah, ongoing kind of training. We do have male mentors. We have male and female mentors, as I said, in various ranks and roles, which is really positive as well. And I think that that's really important as well, because we recognise that that behaviour can be female on male, male on male, female on female. So we really need that kind of diversity within the mentor scheme as well. And your final question around is the presence of mentors acting as a deterrent? I hope so. Sometimes after we deliver these presentations, we see an uplift in reports, and that did make me panic at first. I thought, oh no, this isn't working. People are still reporting things. But actually, I think it's the opposite. Those inputs and the mentor scheme are encouraging people to report, which is really, really important as well. And I think the more people that challenge that behaviour, it creates kind of a real hostile environment for people who exhibit that behaviour, and it's uncomfortable to make those comments if you know that someone's going to stand up and challenge you. So, and
it's really interesting because Angie comes in with a question on that in regards to skills to empower people with ideas and coping strategies, if you like, and almost strategies of how to upstand with that and to deal with that in the workplace. And I think that's something we certainly would love to be able to present more to our membership. And just for complete openness and transparency, of course, the Police Federation, we've absolutely recruited you as a Fed Rep too.
Yes.
It really wasn't to say that we haven't, because, you know, we think this is such a vital, and it isn't just specifically because of this work, but realistically, we want everybody to understand that we want to improve in this space ourselves. We want everybody to realise that there is the ability in branches to support everybody. It's not necessarily just for certain people and where they find themselves. It's for everybody in this. And we know there's work to be done with it. We really do understand there's more work to be done, but we really want to make everybody feel confident and supported. And through your work, I mean, I would love to see this across all forces. That would be utterly amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So the more we can do to promote the model that you are championing is absolutely beneficial to us. So I just want to say a wholehearted thank you from us. And you will see Sophie feature throughout the next 12 months, certainly, because there's no such thing as a free award, shall we say. So we will be working with you as time goes on. And please, you know, input into the next session, because you're the person that is sitting wearing that body armour day in, day out. And we're going to come on to our next topic here, which in regards to women in policing and specifically the wearing of body armour, because the company that have sponsored us this morning, PFEW, fantastic company that are working in the space of policing and policing uniform, are going to talk to us this morning in regards to bra fitting. Now, don't go, oh no, bra fitting, because I know I'm guilty of, I can't even remember the last time I had a bra fitting. But they're going to talk to us about so much more around that subject, and you'll take some real hints and tips away from that. So I'm really hoping our technical team behind the scenes is going to bring me Charlie on the screen. Charlie, lovely to see you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
I can. It's lovely to have you here, Charlie. And I'm not going to spend all day talking about your product and your company, because you are the absolute expert on that. So over to you, Charlie. Tell me a little bit about PFEW.
Oh, well, thank you so much. So PFEW is a sports bra specialist company. We've been in business for 21 years this year, specialising in just one very vital piece of equipment for women, the sports bra. I'm really pleased to be here to hopefully spend the next 15 minutes just offering a bit of helpful guidance, some information and advice to help more women find the right fitting sports bra for her and the activity or the vocation that she's taking up.
I mean, and then if I'm honest, we talk a lot about the issues we have across policing with police uniform, and that could be another webinar for another day, because honestly we could take 3 or 4 webinars on just on that subject, but specifically around bras and what women are wearing under body armour, we know causes issues, and I know you've got some really good hints and tips to tell us about in regards to it, and a little bit of a presentation with some slides. So
yes.
Hopefully my fantastic technical team behind the scenes here are just about to bring those slides up, and hopefully you can see them as they're coming up. And Charlie, we will just any questions that we see come up in the chat, but over to you, Charlie. You tell us what you need to tell us about this.
Brilliant, thank you so much. Well, I'm not sure about how I control moving the slides, but I'll just ask for the next one as I move through.
Yes, I think Auntie.
Perfect. So if we can go to the next slide, please, that'd be amazing. Thank you. So who are we? I mentioned at the beginning, we're specialists in sports bra education and fitting. We've been doing this for over 20 years, and me personally been doing it for over a decade now. Really rewarding work, getting women into sports bras that fit properly for purpose and for preferences. We work across elite sports, across the emergency services, including policing, and also Ministry of Defence work as well that we've been doing for many years now, delivering thousands of sports bra fittings nationwide. And we're really passionate about improving confidence, comfort and performance for women when it comes to kit that fits correctly, because it can make a real difference. Perfect, next one please. So first and foremost, policing is physically demanding. So depending on which unit or which area of involvement you're in, you can be in rapid response, so sprinting, or something quite physical without much notice potentially. Defensive training and restraint work. You've potentially got long shifts in body armour, and there's also fitness testing and operational training. And then I suppose on top of that as well, there's just having a healthy and active lifestyle outside of work as well, and keeping active. But your sports bra needs to work as hard as you do. So we want to give you some helpful tips today. Let's go to the next one, please. So didn't want to shy away from the sciencey bits, if you like. So a few basics on breast anatomy. So fundamentally, breasts are not supported by muscle. They're created by skin and ligaments, and then our glandular and fatty tissue. And it varies from person to person. No two people have the same breasts, but the main message is that our breasts are delicate, unique to the female anatomy, scientifically and biologically there to feed our children. That's their key purpose. But with them not having any muscle to support them, if you like, a muscle we can control. We can contract that muscle or we can relax it, but we don't have that same control over the tissue that makes up our breasts. So when it comes to support, we must get it from external equipment. So putting something on top of our skin in the form of a sports bra protects those structures during sport or your physical activity or vocation. Next one, please. So some amazing pioneering research led by a number of universities, but predominantly University of Portsmouth research with many sports bra brands these days. But when they have done the science of breast movement, when we run, our breasts move in a figure of 8 motion. So we get movement up and down, side to side, and forward and backwards. And when they did these research studies, there was up to 15 centimetres of movement without support that was measured on a G-cup breast. And even an A-cup breast was measured to move 4 centimetres during running when unsupported. So it goes to show that it's not just fuller bust, but smaller busts as well that benefit from some external support from a sports bra.
And Charlie, I'm imagining realistically, because where we're coming from is in regards to wearing body armour over the top, we're running, we're in different positions all the time, getting in and out of cars quickly, finding yourself in different scenarios, aren't we, Sophie?
Yeah.
So to even understand and put the maths behind the fact that you've got that figure of 8 movement, it's not something you would think of. It really isn't. And, you know, I'll be the first one to put my hand up and say, I just wore a normal underwired bra under my body armour, which is probably one of the worst things to wear, if I'm honest.
Well, well, there's lots of considerations as well. You know, when you think about the number of layers you've got on as well in terms of heat management and making sure that the layers you've got help wick moisture away, keep you cool. You know, that's where those sports specific materials are really going to benefit you, staying comfortable, not just from reducing movement, but also from, you know, those sort of thermoregulation perspectives as well. You know, we could get into it quite a lot, but that, you know, body armour being designed to provide adequate coverage for breast tissue as well. I know that that's a pretty hot topic at the moment. You know, is it designed for breasts? But a properly fitting sports bra can certainly help make, you know, wearing in combination with body armour much more comfortable. If we go to the next slide, please. Excellent. So what is a sports bra? So again, some of you might, you know, wear a sports bra every day for work already, or you might wear your normal bra, as Hayley mentioned, but a sports bra is designed to reduce excessive breast movement. It provides structured support during impact, and it helps distribute the weight evenly. It's built for movement, stability and comfort, and proper support helps your body perform efficiently. When we think about doing a physically demanding job, by adding an extra complication of your body having to work harder because it's trying to support the weight of your breast tissue. You know, we want to be efficient during work. We want to be comfortable. We don't want to make our jobs any more difficult. So a sports bra is there and designed to support the efficient movement of your body. Next one, please. So I thought I'd just show you that visualization, that figure of 8 movement that was mapped during that research. So it was a shock absorber sports bra. Some of you might be familiar with that brand of sports bra already, some of you might not. But when they did the testing, it reduced the breast movement, that figure of 8 movement, by up to 78%. And you can see the 3 diagrams. So the first one, no bra, and that really extreme figure of 8 movement that the wearer was experiencing. Normal bra, so your everyday underwired bra, perhaps as an example, is the one in the middle, and then you can see how significantly reduced that movement is by a sports bra. So less movement means less energy loss, and it reduces the strain on our skin and ligaments and makes us more comfortable, move efficiently. Next one, please. So just thinking back to the job, that uncontrolled movement, it can cause discomfort and pain. We could have postural compensation. So you may find that you're rounding your shoulders and you're closing your ability to get oxygen efficiently into your body because your rib cage isn't able to expand as efficiently in poor support. You might find that you suffer from shoulder and neck pain, and all of these lead to distraction during operational tasks. So support is designed to reduce the strain in these areas, and again, just pushing that message of trying to be as efficient and as comfortable as possible during your job.
And bearing in mind, Charlie, some people's shifts can go up to 12 hours. So
absolutely.
The importance of having the right underkit, if you like, in regards to what we're wearing under the issued policing uniform and kit is vital. And I think it's quite scary to think realistically that forces don't pay attention to that because, yeah, if I'm honest, 12 hours a day, usually tend to be 4-hour shift patterns, don't they? Or even sometimes 5 hours, 5 days, 6-day shift patterns up to 9 hours a day. That's a long time, isn't it, to be wearing the same bra and it not to be supportive.
Typically, most are thin, aren't they? And they kind of like,
yeah.
You've not only got the weight, but you've got the cutting into your skin and stuff. So.
Exactly, and you know it's something that you can't really take for granted. You know, from that very first layer against your skin. You know, exactly as you say, if you're going to be in it for 12 hours, you've got to find that balance of comfort and support. And one of my sort of key messages for today is that if you are experiencing issues with sports bras, you know, either on your shift or interacting with body armor or pieces of kit, you know, have you had a fitting yet? Have you had a professional sports bra fitting? Someone with expertise like our team who can chat to you, you know, understand where those pain points are and give you the opportunity to try multiple brands and styles so that we can find something that works with your body, but also with your other pieces of kit. So,
And that's an amazing link in, I just want to add, because I forgot to mention it at the start, to a fantastic opportunity that you're going to give people that are listening in today and those that might be listening in to the recording up to the 11th of March, which is the opportunity to enter a draw where you're going to offer 20 bra fitting courses where the individual can then be trained in how to offer that service or how to actually deliver that, which is going to be amazing. So I just want to call that out now, and I'm sure you're probably going to reiterate it again.
I will.
So everybody keep poised ready for that opportunity. I'm going to be joining it if you allow me.
Absolutely. Perfect. So I think we can go to the next slide and I will absolutely cover that off again. So some common fit issues. So things you may experience. Are you constantly adjusting your bra throughout the day? Is it niggling? Is it, you know, something that you're having to, that you're aware of throughout the day? You might have things like straps digging in. It's a really common one that we face across the shoulders. We see a lot of women really suffer with red marks and indentations, which is an indication that the bra is maybe not fitting correctly. The underband riding up, again, you might experience that as adjusting it and kind of pulling it down throughout the day. Noticing excessive movement, feeling restricted when you're breathing, and again a pretty uncomfortable one, chafing or rubbing against your skin and body armor and actually creating soreness and abrasions. So we don't want to have things like poor fit hold you back. So the next slide I'll come on to is what we've called the 5-point fit check. So these are things that you can take home with you to kind of interrogate how your sports bra or how your normal bra is fitting you right now. And during that 5-point fit check, is there any indication that it's time to get refitted or try a different size? So I've got a short video, which hopefully the sound will work for, but I'll just talk it through quickly first, just in case. So step 1 of the 5-point fit check is what we call the swoop and scoop. So this is where you put your opposite hand to the opposite, inside the opposite cup, and you bring your breast tissue up and into the cups, and you do that on both sides. And that means that we've got everything in its proper place, if you like, before we start the fit check, because we can often find that breast tissue, you know, hides as you put on a bra. So the swoop and scoop, you know, whether you're trying a bra to check if it fits or whether it's your regular bra, I always suggest do the swoop and scoop as that step 1. Next would be to check those 3 key anchors. So the band should give you most of the support. That underband going around your rib cage should sit really nice and flat all the way around with about 1 to 2 inches of give. You want to be able to take deep breaths, but it should be a firm fit but feeling comfortable. Step 3 is the cups. So we've done that swoop and scoop, and that's going to help us see visually at this point, are we experiencing any overspill? So that might suggest the cups are too small. Are we experiencing some gaping in the cups or visible space, which might indicate that the cup size is too big? But what we're looking for is a flush line from bra to skin that keeps it nice and smooth. And for a proper high impact sports bra, we want full breast coverage because we want to protect that breast tissue. And then we've got the straps. So ideally you want to pick a sports bra that's got adjustable straps, because then you can adjust it if you're taller or shorter. Adjustable straps are there to help you adjust your fit, but about 1 to 2 inches of give from the top of your shoulder. And then lastly, step 5 is the movement test. So have a little move around in it. If it's a new bra you've not tried before, you can do a little jog on the spot, raise your arms, move them side to side. And again, that might just indicate that as you're moving, you know, is it staying in place and feeling supportive? So the next one is a short video. It may work, but it's something that we have.
Charlie, the team here is saying that they can't get the sound on the video. So it might be that we have to just share that after the presentation.
Let's do that.
All the resources are going to be shared anyway, so we can share that to everybody online. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. That works. So yeah, we'll share that video. It's on our socials, on our YouTube as well, so you can come back to it and check that 5-point fit check. Amazing. So if we go past the video and to the next slide, that'd be amazing. Marvelous. So you all sort of started mentioning it in terms of, you know, thin straps and feeling like those dig in. So what does a high impact sports bra look like, or what does it really mean? So we're obviously looking for breast movement reduction, but some key indicators of a good quality sports bra: you want wide reinforced straps because they're going to sit nice and comfortably across your shoulder and support the distribution of weight of your breasts as it comes back to anchor around the band. Full coverage cups, mentioned that on the previous slide, so protecting all of that breast tissue, we don't want to have it exposed. A secure wide underband, 80% of the support comes from your underband, so it's really important that that fits correctly. You want some adjustability, and then another key factor, less stretch equals more support. So we often find that people wear sports bras that you can pull over the head because it's very stretchy, and that usually means that it feels quite comfortable. But in order for it to stretch over your shoulders, it means that the sort of fabric isn't able to be as supportive as something with a back fastening. So it's something to consider, and it's a fine balance, you know, on a 12-hour shift. Something that feels a bit stretchier and a bit more comfortable might be a higher priority for you than something that feels very rigid. So it's just finding that nice balance, but less stretch equals more support. And then finally, encapsulation or hybrid. So what that means is finding a sports bra that has 2 defined cups in it, so a cup for each breast, as opposed to a flat piece of material, because again, that University of Portsmouth testing has proven that a band and cup sized sports bra provides higher support level and better support than something that kind of just squashes your breasts to your chest and compresses it. Perfect. Next slide, please. So when to get fitted? There's never a bad time to get a sports bra fitting or a regular bra fitting, but just a few examples from us. So if that sports bra is causing you discomfort, it's chafing you, it's something you're adjusting all the time, it's an indicator that it's time to get refitted. If that sports bra is not fitting the same as it was, so you're now seeing that the cups are gaping, or you're getting some overspill, or it's feeling tight or loose, another reason. If your sports bra is showing signs of wear and tear, I think we can all be guilty of this, of having a favourite that we've kept for years and years and still survives in the drawer, but sort of looking at that objectively and going, right, okay, is it time now to retire this one? Other examples are, the life stages of being a woman. So puberty, when your breasts develop for the first time. You may also have differences in sensitivity throughout your menstrual cycle. So you may want different sports bras depending on how you're feeling there. Pregnancy and postpartum, we've got a great range of maternity sports bras on the Booby-Doo website and that our experts can advise on that adjust with you throughout pregnancy and are there as an option if you choose to breastfeed your child. Menopause, again, we can have changes, fluctuation in our body weight, but also sensitivity and density of our breast tissue. And then at any point of any breast surgery, so it might be breast augmentation or mastectomy, for example, all times in your life where it's worth having some professional support in the form of a fitting. Next one, please. So just a nod from us, about body awareness and breast health. So being in tune with your body is really powerful. Breast injuries, that might be something that does occur for you. If you're in a tactical role, you may well get a breast contact injury or impact that comes from your body armour kind of digging in, for example. But breast injuries, any changes in discomfort should never be ignored. So we always recommend to report any breast-related impact to your physio or your GP. To check your breasts regularly and to use resources from great charities. There's more than this, but Copperfield's one that do some really amazing videos, and they do free monthly text reminders about checking your breasts. So the more you know your own body, the quicker you'll notice when something changes. Next slide, please. A couple of things to remember. So wash cool, always put your sportswear or any sports products in a cool wash. Avoid any fabric softener and always air dry them rather than tumble dry. Try and use a laundry bag for your bras to protect the fastenings. Proactively rotate and refresh. We always say sports bras should never have a birthday, but in reality that's not always affordable for people. So these are our tips for you to get more life out of the products you have by looking after them when they go through the wash. Next one. So a few services that we offer, and also getting onto that competition as well. We offer free virtual fittings. It's one-to-one through a video with one of our experts. It's discreet, it's supportive, and there are flexible appointment times. So all those links will be available at the end to give you some one-to-one advice. Next one, please. We've got existing blue light and key worker offers as well, so you can get 15% off items using our Go Certified service or blue light card. Next one. And this is about the course. So this is our CIMSPA accredited e-learning course about becoming a sports bra advocate, because it's not an easy conversation to begin and a topic that often women feel embarrassed about talking about. So this course covers breast health, fit, education and confidence, and it's ideal for anybody that leads a cohort of female staff or is a fitness trainer, wellbeing leads, and it improves your awareness and confidence. It helps encourage open conversations about breast health and particularly sports bras. Helps you become an internal champion for that, and gives you all the guidance and implementation information on how you can implement proper breast support within your organisation, and you get your 5 CPD points upon completion. So the next slide gives you the information about funded enrolment. So we're really excited to support not only today but ongoing the PFEW. So you can use the QR code here. We'll probably drop it in the chat as well, but opportunity for 20 fully funded course places, open to all police staff. So scan the QR code, we'll announce after the event, keep it open till the 11th of March for those who will watch this back, but a great chance to do some additional learning on this important topic and how you can then use that within your organisation. Amazing. I don't know what's on the next one. Perfect. The last slide, so wrap it up. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions, I'm here today, or you can contact us anytime. The QR code in the middle is the competition, and the other QR code is about booking a virtual fitting if you do want to get booked in for that. So whistle stop tour, but hopefully prompted some thoughts and some conversation.
Do you know what, Charlie? I mean, honestly, normally I interject all the time and I'm sat there just listening, riveted. And also cringing, feeling slightly guilty of things that tick you go, oh, I should have done that. Yeah. Oh, I definitely should have done that. Oh my God. Yeah, that's me. I think all of my bras have had quite a few birthdays, to be brutally honest, because you do end up with favourites. And you're absolutely right. You know, I mean, sometimes you look and think how your body changes, not even just through menstrual, but menopause and how it changes month on month and how you're feeling. You'll go to your favourite rather than the one that's going to give you the most support. And
absolutely.
I often find, Charlie, the ones that are advertised quite readily, possibly through social media, everybody will promote and tell you they're the best thing since sliced bread. But 9 times out of 10, if they were to go through that 5-stage check that you've just talked about, would fail in the first instance. I mean, somebody like myself who is quite, you know, has quite a large cup, shall we say, I hate the ones that have already got padding in that make me look 10 times bigger. So they're an immediate for me, I don't want. But then I'm talking to you about just one piece of material and that just compresses, which makes absolute sense. So, you know, honestly, I mean, I'm the one here. I'm shaming myself here, folks. You are going, oh, that's terrible, Hayley. That's definitely not me. Because I'm sure there'll be some commonality out there with people that are with us on this chat today. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. You're welcome. I mean, you know, what you've described, you know, exactly a lot of other women can relate to. We've got a lot of things to think about as women, and sometimes your bra isn't high on your priority list. So, but it's a complicated world out there as well. You've got a lot of different sizes, different types of product. So sort of being able to navigate your way around that isn't always that easy. So we try and provide, like say, simple tips and services that mean that you can have a bit of a bespoke experience and one-to-one advice, because personal choice is everything. You know, what you like to wear is the most important thing, and what makes you comfortable, because it's on an intimate body part against your skin. But what we want to do at Booby Doo is give access to choice, so that you've got lots of things you could try on, or we can help point you in the right direction of something that's going to fit you and be, you know, how you feel comfortable.
And we've got one question in the chat, Charlie. I don't know if you can read it.
I can. Talking
about bra size, with the same for both your normal bra and sports bra, or do you see there often being a difference in that?
It's the same as clothes shopping, as frustrating as it is. You'll be one size in M&S, you'll be a different size over, you know, in a different store. So for me, it's all about that fit check. So can you identify what good fit feels like for you? So, you know, swoop and scoop, band cup straps, movement test, because, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a different size in one bra versus the next, as long as it fundamentally fits correctly and feels comfortable. So yes, it's like I say, complicated, but knowing the right fit is the key thing.
Thank you so much, Charlie. It's been brilliant speaking to you, and I'm sure all the resources are going to be shared after we close up today. And for those that aren't perhaps watching it now and are going to watch the recording, it will be shared to everybody that registers to us. And again, you know, that link that you've got there, I'm sure can be shared, that people can share it with others. And if they want to have you to do presentations in Force or any other network groups, you're open to that, aren't you, Charlie? Because ultimately it's about spreading the message, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, please get in touch if you think that you know, presentation from us will be helpful for your forces, and yeah, I can give full rundown of all the services and ways that people can get support from us.
Brilliant, thank you so much. And I just want to say thank you to my colleagues here. Sophie, amazing. I'm sure you're going to get lots of contact after this, but if anyone does want to get directly in touch, you can either go through our email addresses or get directly in touch with Sophie as well. And Lou, of course, thank you so much. Don't forget COPT enough, folks, please. We want everybody to get on that virtual picket line, as it were, and get signing up that petition to say that COPT pay is criminal, and we want to improve things. So if you can share that as wide as you possibly can. Thank you all so much. It's been a whistle-stop tour. Have a brilliant International Women's Day, everybody. Do something fun. Try and focus on something that you're going to do that's going to make you smile at some point today. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Lovely to be with you all. Have a lovely day, everybody. Bye.